How did you let this one get away?
Combination of things. I think offensively we just slowed our pace down. We didn't get the quality of shots that we were getting the first 3 quarters. They made some tough shots. A combination of things.
Kenny talked about how just as one would go up, would just be that the ball started to get stagnant towards the end of the game. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, like the entire quarter. Obviously we didn't make shots, but our pace offensively was a lot slower than the first 3 quarters, and which our quality of shots wasn't as great. Which they got stops and they made some shots.
What does it look like changing that?
I think we've been doing it all year, all playoffs. Like it's night and day when our pace is fast. We're moving. We understand what we're doing. Our quality of shots is much better. And then we're able to get our defense set back. So definitely a tough one, but watching film and get better.
James, where's the team's mentality after a game like this? Obviously, you're going to lose games in the postseason, but to be up so big, so late, how is it harder to flush a game like this?
No, we're a super confident team. Obviously we understand. We literally let one slip away, but we got a lot of positives out of this game. So we just watch film, figure out what we can correct, and put an entire game together.
What are some of those positives that you can take and put towards game 2?
That when we play, with our pace offensively, we literally can get any shot we want to, and defensively, when we're on the string, limit them to one shot. They got a couple offensive rebounds, especially in that fourth quarter, which gave them extra possessions.
James, there have been times throughout the course of this playoff run where teams have gone on runs against you guys, but you've been able to withstand that and answer those. What was different about this one that you couldn't do that?
I don't know. I think a little bit of everything. I think we gave up offensive rebounds. We didn't get the quality of shots, and they made some shots. They made some shots, contested shots. So a little bit of everything, I think, is factored into that.
Brunson had some success against you personally late in the game. How do you assess your defense against him?
He made some tough ones. But obviously we all know he's a great one-on-one player, and I think anybody on an island, it's going to be difficult. So we got to do a better job of making sure he sees bodies. On the other end, they do a good job of supporting him and helping him when he's on the island. So he made some tough ones, but we got to do a better job as a team, just because it's not a one-man job. So. We got to be better in that aspect. I think he made a couple of them, which, really got them going.
You guys haven't been together all that long as a group, but even in this short amount of time, you've had some ups and downs. How do you think you're going to help this team go into the game?
It's a part of it. Obviously, like this, you don't want this one. This is a tough one, but we've had opportunities to even close teams out at home. We didn't do it. So we're literally figuring everything out. On the fly, which is it's a good thing. And tonight was one of the feelings where it's a bad thing, but we watch film, we get better, and we've been really good at responding and coming back and bouncing back. So it's no different.
You guys have been a switch-heavy defense for much of this year.
Haven't?
You have been.
Yep.
And it's clear that that's something that you guys believe in. Why do you think, with your personnel, that that's an effective strategy for you guys?
I think teams. Depending on who they have in their personnel, offensively and defensively, I think they do what's best that fits their personnel. So that's one of the defense that fits our personnel. So, we got different coverages. That's definitely one of them. So just figuring out. It's game 1. We really hadn't had time to, go over them. We literally it's been less than 48 hours, from the last series. But even with that being said, we had more than great opportunity to win a game. So, figure it out, make some adjustments, and be better for game 2.
For 3 quarters, how did you feel about not just the switching, but like the support behind the switching? So
it was great. It was great. I get Jalen just was a little bit more aggressive, and so I think we just allowed him to be aggressive, and he made shots, and he continued to make shots. And then once he got going, then we OG and the supporting cast made shots as well. So. Figuring out what's how can we slow them down? How can we slow Jalen down, and then the team?
What did you think of that?
That run in the fourth quarter? I think Kenny maybe didn't really call timeout. Kind of on you as the point guard, maybe to kind of settle the team. Then what's just the challenge? As the Knicks are going on that big run there, to kind of like try to slow them down without taking a pause, a timeout there.
It's difficult situation. As a coach, you kind of want the players to kind of figure it out and withstand the storm and calm things down. But like it's happening, fast. You know what I mean? So we just got to do a better job as players to, offensively, get our pace up and understand what we're trying to do. Which we had some success in those first 3 quarters. So it's on us to get our pace up and get into our offense much quicker.
Chris, last
Despite
question.
everything, you guys had the ball, tie game, final possession offensively. What did you make of that possession? The one that
Pass to Sam?
Sam, yeah.
Sam made a couple threes tonight, right? I mean, a few of them. They put 2 on the ball. I think that it's not even just since I've been here, man, it's just like you make the simple play. You try to make the simple play, try to not do too much, and we've been having some really good success. And I might not score 30, 40 points, but our team is sharing the ball, and we are all eating. So on that particular play, 2 on the ball, Sam get a wide open 3 at the top of the key, and just didn't go in. So I passed that ball 10 out of 10 times, and